So for this, we have 5 factors. If you remember, we have nutrients, we have humidity, pH value, temperature, and light intensity. So these are the 5 factors that involve or affects the growth. So the first one, when you see experiment like that, right, most of the time is the factor already one, but you read through, then you will get to know what factor is this. So effect of nutrient. Okay, so we're studying like the nutrients effect. So no food, of course cannot. All living things works the same, like animal, human, plants, we work the same. So we need food to survive. Okay, so experiment has yeast for you, and glucose, distilled water, and with lime water. So this is almost like your Form 5, Chapter 4 fermentation. Okay, in that chapter, you talk about fermentation also, yeast plus glucose, you know, you produce like to make bread or to make alcohol, remember? So that basically tells you about nutrients, because glucose is the nutrient for yeast, by the way. Distilled water is not nutrient, so cannot, yeah. And what you can observe here is the lime water. So that's basically what you need to what you need to write for your number 1, which is A, observation. This Form 5, yeah, Sean, Form 5 Chapter 1. Okay, so like we will form your observation. There's 2 observations here. If you all remember this experiment, yeast and glucose will produce a type of gas. I'm not sure if you remember what kind of gas we have, but according to your Form 4, Chapter 5, fermentation process, yeast and glucose produces alcohol and yeah, a kind of gas. And if you know what gas I'm talking about. So then you can see bubble. The bubble represents the gas. And also, this is lime water, right? And I hope you remember when lime water in contact or react with the gas, it actually turns cloudy, right? It turns milky or turns cloudy. So there's 2 observations here. Number 1, you can see bubble. Got bubble, no bubble. That's very straightforward. Number 2, cloudy, no cloudy. Okay, this one you can't see with your eyes now, but if you know the experiment properly, you know the result is where lime water turns cloudy. Okay, so up to you, which one you want to write. You want to go for the cloudy, not cloudy? Or want to go for the bubble, no bubble? Okay, so let's say you want to go for something you can see. I would suggest you to go for the got bubble, no bubble. Okay, so you form your own sentence, like I don't know, whichever way you want. Like lime water in set A has gas bubble, while set B does not. You know, like it doesn't matter, like I don't really care about grammar. As long as you have main points and you're able to form okay sentence, then can lah. Okay, so help yourself, everybody, for observation. You want to go for cloudy also can. Lime water in set A turns cloudy, while lime water in set B does not. Up to you. Okay, right, next one. Explain why observations stated in A1A form. Why? Why got bubble? Right? Or why cloudy observation, but have to explain your observation. Okay, do you know what gas is that? Until this point, I have not disclosed. I forgot. Did I say it? I hope you all still remember the equation. So the gas will be carbon dioxide. So why got bubble? Got carbon dioxide. Why cloudy? Got carbon dioxide. Got carbon dioxide. Then lime water turns out. That's your basic. If you remember that. Why got bubble? Got carbon dioxide. So the main point here is why got bubble? Because carbon dioxide is released. So the main point here is you must talk about carbon dioxide. Okay. So just for explanation, you can write what is released. So you can write carbon dioxide is released during the reaction between glucose and yeast. Or I would say a simpler one will be, let me type as well. So carbon dioxide is released during the reaction between yeast and glucose. Okay, or you can write carbon dioxide is released when the glucose grow also can, because glucose, what glucose grow? What am I talking about? When the yeast grow also can, or during the growth of yeast also can. If you don't want to write reaction between yeast and glucose, you can go for during the growth of yeast, can also. All right, no problem, everybody. Let's get to C, shall we? Okay, manipulated copy from table if you remember, but there's no table here. But you know, your factor here is very obvious already, is whether you have nutrient or no nutrient, or to be specific, glucose or distilled water. Now, a lot of times you might be thinking, oh, I know, type of solution. You're not wrong, but I suggest let's be more specific on our answer, because actually in this question, right, my main thing is glucose or no glucose. I don't really care about distilled water though. So rather writing a type of solution, I would also rather you to write presence of glucose. Got glucose? No glucose. That's my main concern. I don't really care about distilled water though. It could be anything else. But my point here is got food, no food. So my manipulated, I would go for presence of glucose solution. Or you can write presence of nutrients, because that's your manipulated. Presence of nutrients also can. Alrighty, everybody. Okay, so let's go to constant variable. Okay, something here must be fair. Something here must be fixed. Okay. Let me see. What should we fix? Okay, this is the factor that you are testing, isn't it? You're testing got food, no food. Out of the 5 factors, you are testing nutrient. So what must be fixed would be the rest of the factor. The rest of the factor. Okay, so I'm seeing answers here says volume of solution, volume of nutrient, and lime water. Okay, you guys are at the right direction, means you're stating the material, not stating the apparatus. That's one step closer. A lot of people write apparatus one. Oh, the size of the test tube, or the length of the straw. That's Form 1 stuff, the mistake that we do in Form 1. But yes, we are talking about things inside. Acceptable. Those answer you all mentioned just now: amount of yeast put in solution, volume of nutrient, lime water. Okay. Let me bring you to a more accurate answer. As the 5 factor is under test, one factor that we are testing now is called the nutrient. What must be fixed will be the rest of the factor. Okay, so for instance, what must be fixed here will be temperature, must be fair. No matter yeast with glucose, yeast with distilled water, I've got to make sure it is at room temperature to be fair. Okay, or one more acceptable will be pH value. Okay, pH value of the whole thing, like the distilled water and the glucose solution must be in neutral. Okay, so your question is, can we write volume of nutrient? Actually, this only nutrient, this no nutrient, so that's not something we are being fixed. So Nicholas, that one not acceptable. Volume of solution means how much glucose and how much distilled water we add, right? That's not gonna make any difference also. If I put very little glucose, a lot of distilled water, that doesn't make this to undergo fermentation and give out bubble. I put 1 drip, I put 1 gallon, also same. So volume of solution is also not acceptable. Okay, lime water. Okay, I understand that question. I understand the answer, because you might be thinking, okay, both must have lime water. that doesn't change my result. You know, if I have lime water or I don't have lime water, the carbon dioxide will still release one, you understand? Doesn't mean that I have lime water, then carbon dioxide will release. If I don't put lime water, then it will not. It will always be there. The carbon dioxide is always be there. You understand? So that is not directly affecting my result. You have to think, will I write this, and if I don't do this, it will affect my result. So if it doesn't affect, then not acceptable. Okay. Okay, amount of yeast in solution. This is okay, kind of acceptable. Means the amount, like if you put like, I don't know, 10 grams, that must be fair. Because if you put no yeast at all, or you put a lot of yeast, the fermentation might happen differently on both. Okay, what about presence of yeast? Okay, if you want to write presence of yeast, I rather you write the amount of yeast or the volume of yeast. Okay, so those that you mentioned, okay, I kind of adjust it, but not as good as what I mentioned just now, which is temperature. Okay, temperature. So usually when we do all the factor, things must be fixed, will be the other factor. You understand? So this is nutrient, so the other factor will be temperature, pH value, those must be fair. Okay, so let me summarize again. Your answers that are acceptable are temperature, pH value, okay, amount of yeast or quantity of yeast, okay, or one more, type of microorganism. Make sure I put yeast and yeast. If I put yeast and bacteria, well, then not fair already lah. You're not being fair on testing of getting the correct result, right? So those are acceptable answer for constant variable. Is that okay? You see, sometimes can be tricky one. You think okay answer, but actually not okay, not in marking scheme. So be careful and make sure you practice on this kind of skills in order to get more marks and more accurate answer. Okay. Hypothesis, everybody. Hypothesis is the combination of manipulated and responding variable. So my manipulated is my yeast, whether you have yeast or not. My responding is gas bubble or no gas bubble, right? Or cloudy, no cloudy, right? Or it actually means growth of yeast. This obviously very happy lor, got food ma, wow, party lor. This one, no food ma, no growth or no party or. Okay, so usually there is 3 ways of writing lah. First is usually what I always tell you all, which is the lousy, in the kindergarten the sentence, the. You have to judge or can or cannot. Second method will be if then. Some of you are exposed to if then by your school teacher. Your school teacher encourage you to write if then. If manipulated, then responding, or if then. Okay, if I handsome, then I very famous, you know, handsome, manipulated, very famous, responding verbal. Okay, or the third type will be being straightforward, like straight away say, yeast and glucose got growth, yeast and distilled water no growth, you know. I like glucose, I no like distilled water, you know, being specific. So usually these 3 types that you can follow. Okay, so I got to tell you, the definitely is not something you can write, right? If you're how to right? The what? The more the group, no, it's yes and no. So we can't really do a the here. So we will take away the everybody. Then down to the 2 types. If glucose solution is used, then the growth of yeast will occur. Can this be accepted? If glucose solution is used, then the growth of yeast, okay, accepted, yes. Teacher, my school teacher say inference can be used as hypothesis. Inference used as hypothesis. Actually, no leh. Why your teacher say so? Okay, I wouldn't I wouldn't encourage you to do that because that's a very risky move. Because different question kind of different a bit. You can't use this method to generalize all of them. So if you ask me, I would say no. You shouldn't do inference and hypothesis same answer. Because it's a different format, by the way. But we'll get more to it today. You will get to see what's the difference and what I'm saying. If there is presence of glucose in solution, then gas bubble will form in lime water. Yes, Sean, acceptable. Nice. Okay, if you're doing if then, so you can do this. If glucose solution is added into yeast, or if glucose solution is added or is used, then gas bubbles will be formed in lime water, or then carbon dioxide will be released. Also can ma, I specific ma, I say got carbon dioxide ma. If glucose used, got carbon dioxide. Okay, are you okay not? Grammar wise, sentence structure wise doesn't matter one. Okay one, you're okay one. You're form 5 ready lah, you're okay one. Get the point I want, then make sure you form your sentence. Okay. What about the other one that I mentioned, the more straightforward? Let me show you. Okay. So there you go. Yeast grow and reproduce rapidly with the presence of glucose. Shorter. But difficult to form sentence like that if you're not familiar. Okay. But no matter how, I am revolving around manipulated and responding. Do you realize that, right? I'm talking about the factor, which is nutrients. I'm talking about the growth as well, anyhow. Or the lime water, cloudy, or the gas bubble. No matter lah, if you do the if then, it works the same way. Alrighty, everybody. I hope you get the hang of it, because half of today also we do this kind of question. You realize like, oh, again. Let me show you the next type. We have, shall we do number 3? Okay, we do number 3, everybody. Question 3, 46, page 46. Alrighty, what factor is this? Very easy. Now, this factor is a very, very famous question in exam. No matter how many years, it kept coming out years over years. It seems to be a very like important or famous questions to us. So you kind of must know all this, okay? So effect of light, got light, no light, okay? So nutrient broth is the very nutritious nutrients we have in soup in liquid form. Then we put culture bacteria, we cover with cotton wool to make sure there's no contamination from the air no other stuff going in. So then they party lah, walao got food leh, wait what, or but then it depends where it is. Number 1, it's in a dark cupboard, okay? In the dark cupboard. Number 2, in the laboratory, means like normal room. And number 3, bright light. I mean, who clubbing in bright light? Do you all go to a club and then the spotlight are all on, okay? And then you do under bright light, or you clubbing under bright day on the middle of the road, right? Who does that? No, they like to grow and party and have fun in the dark, just like you and me. I mean, illustration, okay? So you realize the dark one, right, becomes very cloudy. The dark one becomes cloudy. In the cupboard, best lah. Dim light, a bit cloudy. Bright, they don't like. Okay, all right. So here we go, the format again. So manipulated and responding, manipulated and responding is free from the table. You've been doing so many times. I'm pretty sure you know. Okay, your manipulated will be your factor. Your responding will be also your result. Okay, but I suggest let's be more specific on this. It's a bit risky to write appearance of nutrient broth. Why? Because it is the same answer as condition of the nutrient broth. No, it's also same as observation of the nutrient broth. No, not acceptable. That's not specific. Let's be specific. Your result is cloudy or no cloudy. You get it? So why not we write the cloudiness of the nutrient broth? You understand? Yeah. So sometimes you got to be aware of free lunch, you know. Not every time free lunch can eat one, you know. Sometimes free lunch got problem. So be aware of this responding. I suggest you got to ask yourself, is that specific enough for answers? Okay. So manipulated will be the light intensity, follow as what we have. Okay. Your responding will be the cloudiness of the nutrient broth. Jajun, the one that you write, final condition is same meaning, not specific. Not specific. The final condition, the observation is like got say equals to no say, you know. 有講等於冇講啊，其實. So let's be specific, which is cloudiness. Cloudy? Not cloudy. Cloudiness. Okay? Can the responding be the growth of microorganisms? Hi, Tom. Oh, I have not seen your name around. But anyway, hi. Was again the growth of microorganisms. Okay, your answer is the second answer that I mentioned. Always responding variable got two answers. First is what you see. Second answer is the real meaning behind, which is also acceptable. Okay, so growth of microorganism is acceptable, or the cloudiness of nutrient broth is acceptable. But I have to say, Tom, that's a secondary answer. I'm pretty sure in teachers' marking scheme, right, they prioritize what we see. Okay, but it's fine, it's fine. But sometimes, in some circumstances, it's better you write what you see. Some teacher mark a bit more strict. They want, no, responding is what you see. Then, you know, you might get deducted by that. So if you ask me, I will always encourage and suggest you to write what you see as you're responding. The growth of microorganism, you know in your heart, then okay lah. Because that's useful for your hypothesis anyways, the responding. Okay? Right. So responding need to always be specific as possible. Yes, responding always have to be as specific as possible. Okay, be careful lah. These are like skills that you have to make sure you grasp, and that makes you more marks. Gives you more marks, more accuracy. The state one hypothesis. Okay, 来了. Hypothesis, everybody. Please form a hypothesis based on what we have used just now. You want to go for if then, or you want to go for the more specific one, like the straightforward one? Up to you. Sean, what's manipulated? What's our factor here? Got free from table. You're forming the hypothesis, you try first, Yes, correct, light intensity, correct. Okay, like try, your hypothesis, try, belum try, belum tahu. Apabila try, hari-hari mau. If you want to do if then, you'll remember it's manipulated and responding. Okay? If manipulated, then responding. This one very universal. Okay. If there is light intensity in the test tube, then the test tube will not turn cloudy. Okay. Halfway there, Nicholas. I suggest you change the word light intensity to something else because that grammarly doesn't make sense. If there is light intensity, you mean this one, Nicholas? Does that sound better? Yeah, that sounds more accurate and feels better. Or vice versa, because you can do this. If the neutron, okay, so I suggest the front part, you change. If there is light intensity in the test tube, the part you change to, if the neutron broth is in bright condition, then the neutron broth will not turn cloudy. Okay, if the neutron broth is in dark place or in dark condition, then neutron broth becomes very cloudy. Okay, if the intensity is dark, light intensity is dark, then the appearance of neutron broth will be very cloudy. Okay lah, Ken. We don't grammarly, but only actually not much problem. I would say okay, because we don't write like if light intensity is dark. We will say if it's in dark condition. Light intensity is like the title, but that's fine. That's fine. The higher the light, we have the. Okay, Amelia. The higher the light intensity, the cloudier the neutron broth. Okay, correction, right? The lower the light intensity, the cloudier. Wait, do we have the word cloudier actually? The cloudier of the neutron broth. Okay, Ken. Since we have three things here, it's getting dark or it's getting bright. That's acceptable. If, Emilia, if this question has only dark and bright, then don't do the, very dangerous. The is usually when we have quite a few things like you can see like a gradient, like a changing situation, then the is good. Sometimes question give you bright and dark, don't do the dangerous. Although it's easy. Right? Okay, anyone else? You want me to check? If you want, you can type to me. Okay, you all want the straightforward answer? I like that a lot. I actually don't like the and the, I don't like the if then. But I'm not saying that's not wrong. That's not correct. Okay, the more straightforward one will be okay. Bacteria, you all know what you all need to write already. This is very short. Bacteria grow and reproduce rapidly in dark condition. Bam, people. All good. Alrighty, so everybody, inference, shall we? Okay, inference means observation plus reason. You want to try? Observation is what? Think about it. Observation is what? I will go for the dark one. I will go for this one. Dark, very cloudy. That's observation. Why? You have to because. Think about it. Okay, you try. Observation plus reason. Why so many people clubbing in dark area? Or why they all clubbing in dark area? A reason, you have to do reasoning. Okay, all good? Anyone? Stuck, don't know how to continue the behind part. So you all start with the first one first. What's your observation? For me, I will go for the dark one. So I would say, the nutrient broth very cloudy in the dark. Oh, why? Wow, why cloudy in the dark? Why in the dark? Then very cloudy. Very obvious, right? In the dark, very cloudy means, okay, why when you go to the dark, you see a lot of people clubbing. Like you open the door of the disco or the club, right? You realize it's very dark. And then you see a lot of people clubbing. Why everyone likes to club in the dark? Right? Because that's the place, that's the best condition. Like there is where they like to grow, there is where they like to party, there is where they like to grow. And dark is where they are very active. Dark is where they go crazy. It's very active. So I will give you a keyword here is active. Bright don't have, right? Why? Because not active. Okay? So test tube in the dark condition turns cloudy because microorganism is more active in the dark condition. Okay, yes, Nicholas, noise. Bacteria is active in the dark. Yes, Emilia. Yay, correct. Because temperature is suitable for them to grow. Oh no, Sean, there's no temperature here. Like we are not doing temperature. Why they like to grow in the dark? Because active. They like to be in the dark. Okay, so the beginning will be what? The nutrient broth is very cloudy in the dark condition because bacteria grows actively in the dark, okay? Or bacteria is very active in the dark, okay? Or dark condition is the most suitable condition for the growth of bacteria. This one longer lah, also can. You all get it? Why room temperature very cloudy? Oh, room temperature is the where they grow actively lah, very active They like it. They like 27 Celsius. They like 30 Celsius. So why dark very cloudy? Oh, they like it lah. That's where they grow actively. So do you realize the factor is just changing, and the answer remain the same for everything else? It is I think second type already. So the answer is the only thing that is changing is your manipulator lah. The rest is the same Okay, so like operational definition for the growth of bacteria. Okay, do you remember this? Responding variable, and growth of bacteria is your subject. Okay, so growth of bacteria. Okay, then you have to answer based on your responding variable, okay, which is this one. Remember, I always illustrate that to you, and you know what? The kid is coming back, guys. The kid is coming. What is the growth of nutrient broth? Wow, jialat, how to explain to a 5-year-old kid what is the growth of like? How are you gonna throw fancy biology facts to the kid? Or are you gonna explain based on what he can see? Remember? Based on what he can see, it's better to explain and ask him to go away because it's very annoying. You try, but don't tell. Oh God, that voice haunts me at night. Sean Gogo, what is the... That's basically how you ask yourself. Remember at exam, you see this, right? Secretly in your heart, you do this. Go, what is the... Oh, shut up. Stop it. I know how to answer. Don't do that to me anymore. Okay, let's see what do we have. Growth of bacteria is a process that takes place rapidly in the dark. Whoa. Ding, 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 ding. Emilia, you're kind of right, but you did not get the responding variable involved. You are writing the manipulated. You're not writing the responding. You're half correct. Growth of bacteria can be shown. I have new answer. Oh, sorry. I didn't. Sorry. There's several. I have not read all of them. Growth of bacteria can be shown by the cloudiness of the... Oh, nice, Nicholas. That's correct. Growth of bacteria is a process that turns down water. Yay. Correct, Emilia. Yes. You all got it? Everybody else? Anyone else wanna try? Okay, so growth of bacteria is a process, right? It's not something, it's a process. Growth of bacteria is a process, okay, that can be shown by the cloudiness of the nutrient broth. Sean, is not water. That is careless mistake. Cost you 1 mark. Okay, so growth of bacteria is a process that can turn lime water cloudy. Also can, or you can write growth of bacteria is a process that can be shown by the cloudiness of the water. Responding variable. Then after this, right, you'll be like, you look at the water, cloudy, bacteria. No cloudy, no bacteria, no growth. Then the kid will be like, oh, okay. Then settle lah. It's not going to annoy you anymore. You got to tell him what he gets to see. You understand? That's more convincing than explaining fancy biology terms, right? Okay, everybody. Hope you got that. Yep, pretty much formats we have. Okay. I have a lot of repeated one. You want to try now. You practice, you sharpen your skill a bit. Repeated. I would like to go to some theory instead, like section B, knowledge part. Can we go to 59? Let's go to question 12. And I am your father. So, some theory for you, just to revise your knowledge on chapter 1. Okay, like everybody. This is tuberculosis. Do you remember what tuberculosis is? It's a cough, lung infection, cough, very bad coughing. Cough until mother cannot recognize one. Keep coughing. Okay, so some theory, guys. Which is the microorganism? Do you remember? Tuberculosis under which category? Like, like virus, protozoa. Section B, you have to study one. No study, confirm cannot one. Yes, Amelia. Nice. Not bad, you remember. You remember? Everyone else? No? You got to do a bit of reading. So tuberculosis caused by bacteria. Okay? Bacteria. This one, you know. You don't know, you don't know. So section B, study. So bacteria, everybody, bacteria. Okay, state how a doctor confirmed the presence of microorganisms mentioned in. Okay, this is a bit little bit, everybody. This is a bit little bit. I can tell this is a bit more than what we learned, but it's okay. You can learn it now. Tuberculosis is lung infection. How doctor confirm a TB or tuberculosis patient? Do you know? Anyone else? Wild guess? Blood test? No, not a blood test. Urine test. What the heck? Oh, Tom, seems like you know something. Coughing test. Doctor will ask you to okay, cough and see. Like how to cough, right? Different cough determines different disease. Okay, anyway, Tom got it correct. Guys, it's through X-ray. So doctor will take X-ray of your chest, and through X-ray, you can see that the lungs has a lot of black patches. That shows infections in the lung. So correct, Tom, it's X-ray, okay? So everybody, this is how you can write. You can write that as black patches forms on the X-ray, or black patches can be seen on the X-ray of the lung. Hey, let's go. So, everybody, no problem? Okay, black spots are seen on the X-ray of the lungs. Okay, this one little bit, you don't know, not your problem. Don't worry. Okay, it's my problem because I didn't teach you. So now you know. Okay, right, next one. 2 symptoms related. Oh, this one also you have to read your book. Do you remember? It's in your syllabus. This one not something little bit. Tuberculosis. Ayo, lung cancer. Why you like that? Why you so bad? No, it's just coughing. Symptoms we have, of course, it's a coughing problem. So the most obvious symptoms is coughing. Right, first one, everybody, coughing. Number 2, you cough, your phlegm got blood. Okay, your phlegm, your kaha, there got blood. Okay, so bleeding phlegm, everybody. Bleeding phlegm. That's one of the symptoms. Okay, what else? You also can write fever. Fever is a very good answer for all the disease, What also fever? But be careful. If it's a skin problem, you don't simply write fever. That's not related. How to spell phlegm? Phlegm is P-H-L-E-G-M, phlegm. Bleeding phlegm. Alrighty. Okay, enough, more than enough. Like, tuberculosis, how transmit? Hey, hello, cough lah, of course. What? Cough, of course, through air. Okay, next one. State another disease that is caused by the same. Any disease you all know by bacteria? Do you all memorize some of them? Other than tuberculosis, what else is transmit through bacteria? Okay, I'll give you a hint. Very famous disease by housefly. Housefly. Chili-bili, you diarrhea until mother cannot recognize. Wow, Emilia, not bad. You're very ready. Cholera, correct. You have to study now. You have to study cholera. Okay, what else? Also one very famous one. Get cut by rusting metals. Rusting metals. If you cannot cut rusting metals, you get the problem. Wow, Emilia, you're ready. Ready for A+. Titanus, everybody. Titanus. No study, cannot no. Got study, then can no. Spend some time lah. You got to read a bit of your theory one lah. I cannot cut by rusty stuff D. Oh, you strong S-T-R-O-N-K. You strong. Usually cut by, I have to take injection. Okay, right. 14, everybody. Shall we skip a bit to 61? Okay, a bit theory also. Stonk, or no R. But doesn't pronounce as strong. Stonk. Strong. Okay, so can we write down all the names again just to recall all of them? So the first one is called, what's that called? Of course, you know on the break that we did just now, this is called the mucor. Okay, it's called mucor. Okay, under fungi category. Okay, right, second one. GG, a very long name. Do you all know? Maybe I should ask Emilia or anyone else want to try. Sorry, I didn't mean to mention that you don't know, but Emilia, typo. Missing one alphabet, I think. Jajun. Amoeba. Ya Allah. No. Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. It's under algae category. Feliz Navidas. Good luck, Sean. Right, next one. What's this called? Some S. Wow, Nicholas come into action. And Tom. Spirogyra. Spirogyra. This is under algae. Okay? Algae. Right. Last one. Da, 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 da. Anybody? Correct. Yeast, my friends. This is under fungi. Okay? Yeast, easy. Okay, see, after you name them, then you feel more confident. You're like, wow, suddenly your confidence level 100%, right? Okay, I know what I know. I mean, of course, you know what you know, but I know what's the answer. So, A, classify WXYZ according to characteristics, can produce own food and cannot. When we say can produce own food, it has to be autotrophist or microorganism that has chlorophyll. And you know, autotrophist basically means algae. Algae can make food. Fungi are very lousy plants that they can't actually make food. All right? So, yeah, basically. Shall we? So, how? I think this area is for us to actually form a box. I think. So, we're going to make this into a box. Because you have to categorize those, so I guess we form a box to show our, to present our answer. Okay, so I guess left side goes to can produce its own food, right? Can produce its own food. All right, and this one is cannot produce its own food. Okay, then we write down the alphabet. So W, X, and Y, W, and Z. Yup, no problem. Fungi, no chlorophyll. They are very lousy plant. They cannot even make their own food. So hence, fungi can only makan through saprophytic method, which is like decomposed dead stuff, right? Like beggar, they won't steal, they won't rob you, but they only take when you don't want, which is very important for the whole ecosystem. And also parasites, which is to make you fall sick, skin diseases. Okay, that's the two methods. So fungi has no autotrophist, by the way. Yeah, algae is 100% autotrophist. Algae will not make you fall sick. There's no parasitic algae. There's no saprophytic algae as well. There's only autotrophic algae. Okay, so based on the above, name the group of microorganisms which can produce their own food. The group, everybody, the group. See, when you name them and you write their group, you're 100% correct already. So algae, your answer is, everybody, algae. Is that right? Okay, next one. Name the process that carried out by the group in 11B1, that means this one, algae. Name the process carried out by algae to make own food. So easy. Photosynthesis. Who don't know, you bite yourself. Okay. Photosynthesis. All right. Name microorganism W. Hello, so easy. Okay, mucor. Yeah, W, mucor. Okay, next one. Reproduction method of 4C1. What? 4C1, this one. Mucor reproduction. Okay, since we're here, right? We write all them down now. Yes, correct, Jajun. That is spore formation. Okay, Chlamydomonas is binary, and Spirogyra is binary fission. Sorry, I should write the full name. Fission fission. And last is budding. Okay, budding. Anyway, your answer is spore formation for the previous one. Can you write that down? All right. Okay, cool. I think we have time for one more. Oh, one more, everybody. Question 13, let's reverse. Okay, vector control, you have mosquito and the housefly. And remember, mosquito got two types. We have Aedes mosquito, and we have the other one called Anopheles mosquito. Okay, so Aedes mosquito will cause you what disease? Like question A, name disease caused by A and B. Okay, so mosquito, if you want to write Aedes, the disease is called a very famous one, Malaysia, a lot one. If you want to write Anopheles, then the answer is the other type. So there's two diseases lah. So the one caused by Aedes is called dengue fever. If you want to go by Anopheles, that is called, I forgot. Oh, start with M. Anybody? Malaria. Correct. I think I spelled wrongly for dengue. Sorry. 1G. Why 2G? Okay, so malaria. Next one. B. There, the one I mentioned is a housefly, very famous one. Cholera. Bidi, diarrhea until your mother recognize. Okay, very bad diarrhea. Okay, next one. How to control vector A at stage P? How to control A, mosquito at stage P? Yo, since we're here, do you remember? Adult stage, egg stage, larva stage, pupa stage. Okay, focus on adult stage, how to settle. You don't say pour the water away, this and that. That's not water issue anymore. Adult is flying around, So, let me show you. I think I still have the material with me. There you go. Everybody, you choose. Cell tox. That means spray insecticide. Yes, correct. Use mosquito net. Okay, acceptable. Fogging. You don't say like pour away the water and stuff like that. That's not applicable for adult, by the way. Okay, your choose. Your choose. Okay, your choose what you want. And wait, let me see the next. I think the next question is also asking for. RNS, yes, RNS is the one that in water. Okay, like to answer your choose here. Your choose, where is it? Water, larva, and pupa, adult. Two different answers. Okay. All good, no problem. Okay, so next will be 2 ways to control B. Okay, again, like it's all here. 2 ways to control B. Whichever suits you, like as long as it's housefly, destroy breeding places, clean around the house, I don't know, cover the dustbin with a cover the dustbin properly, whichever will do. Alrighty, everybody. Yay, cool. We're finally done with this. Can spray insecticide? Can, Nicholas. Can. Spray insecticide also can. Yup. Okay, if you're done for that too, we are done for the night. We will continue the next chapter next week. I think it's from 5 chapter 4. I'll see you guys next week. Alrighty, no problem. Bye guys. Have a great night. I'll see ya.